Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap, and we all are aware that NABARD has recently come up with its NABARD Grade A officer exam notification for year 2024. And if you are someone who was planning and preparing to appear for the NABARD Grade A officer exam this year, then the very first step that you have to take to become NABARD officer is to fill out your online application form for the NABARD Grade A officer exam. So in the past we have seen that various students are having so many queries related to the form filling process, like where is the link from where I can get myself registered for the exam? Then what are the prerequisite documents that I must have in order to fill out my form? Then I have to pay the fees online or offline. So all such kind of doubts I will be resolving in the today's session by giving you a real-time simulation of how to fill your NABARD Grade A officer exam. So this is also an opportunity for you to fill out your form along with me. So the very first step that you have to do is just type NABARD in your browser, and this page will appear. Click on the very first link, and now just go to the career notices here, scroll down, and you will see that here it says click here to continue. Just click on it and you will see that the recruitment to the post of assistant manager in grade A RDBS 24, that means this is the notification for the NABARD Grade A officer exam. So here you will see that there are two links, the advertisement link and the apply here, right? So I have basically downloaded the notification part, that is the advertisement for the exam. You can see the recruitment to the post of assistant manager in grade A RDBS and the Rajbhasha. The very first thing that you have to note down from here is you can only fill out your form till 15th of August 2024. So make sure you are noting down the date and you are not basically waiting for the last date. Make sure you are filling out your form well before the time. Apart from that, guys, make sure that all the details that you are mentioning in this form filling process are correct, because if at any stage it is found that any information furnished in the online application form is false or incorrect, or if according to the bank the candidate does not satisfy the eligibility criteria for the post, then his or her candidature will be cancelled and will not be allowed to appear for the interview joining, right? So apart from this, guys, here is the list of all the posts that has been released by the NABARD in its notification for 2024. Now you must be having one query in your mind that, okay, for how many posts I can apply? But let me tell you, this notification clearly mentions that the candidate can apply only for one post, discipline officer her choice. अगर यहाँ पर multiple application देखी जाती हैं, then the last application submitted will be considered for your recruitment cycle. Apart from that, if you are also required to make sure that you are eligible for the exam, and make sure that the result of your final term, semester, year examination of the required educational qualification must have been declared on or before 1st of July. अगर उसके बाद ये result आपका declare हुआ है, then you will not be eligible to apply, right? Now, my dear friends, in order to apply for this exam, I have already shown you the registration link. But here you can see that eligible applications are required to apply online only. तो आप सिर्फ इसी online process से ही आप अपना form fill कर सकते हैं. There is no such kind of offline process for this NABARD Grade A officer exam. Okay, now when I talk about the prerequisite documents, it includes the photograph, signature, left thumb impression and the handwritten declaration. तो ये चार document आपके पास होनी चाहिए beforehand, ready, as mentioned in the notification that I will be telling you, and only after that you will have to start filling your online application form. So my dear friends, here when I talk about the left thumb impression, so if there is a candidate who is not having a left thumb, he or she may use his or her right thumb for applying. Now you must be having a question that what is the handwritten declaration? So basically you have to write some text on a white paper with the black ink, and what exactly that text is? That is your name. For example, if I am filling out my form, then I, Devanshu, hereby declare that all the information submitted by me in the application form is correct, true and valid, and I will present the supporting documents as and when required. And I have to make sure that this text is in your own handwriting only. You are not letting the other person to write for you, because if there will be any mismatch in the handwriting, then also it will be a problematic, right? So it has mentioned that the candidate's handwriting and in English only. And in the case of visually impaired candidates who cannot write, may get the text of declaration typed, and they have to put their left thumb impression below the typed declaration, and they have to upload the document accordingly. Okay, I hope these details are very much clear. Now you have to follow some specifications for these four documents. What exactly these are? First thing is basically the size. For the photograph, you have to make sure that the size of the file must be between 20 KB to 50 KB. In case it is violating this range, then you will not be able to upload your photograph. Now the second, third and the fourth document is signature, left thumb impression and the handwritten declaration. तो जो आपका signature है वो white paper पे होना चाहिए with the black ink pen, and the size of the file must be between 10 KB to 20 KB. If I talk about the left thumb impression, then it must be on a white paper with the black or blue ink. ये किसी भी ink में हो सकता है, either black or blue, and the size of the image must be between 20 KB to 50 KB. In case of handwritten declaration, it must be in English and clearly on a white paper with a black ink, and the size must be between 50 KB to 100 KB. So make sure that you are having now all the files available. As I have done that, all the files are available with me now, and now I can move forward to the registration process. So now once again, getting back to the NABARD website here. So here I will be clicking on apply here, and this registration page will appear. And you will see guys that it's asked click here for the new registration, so we will be clicking on it. But let me tell you my dear friends that if you want to eliminate all these steps that I have shown you to reach out this registration link, what you can do, in the description of this video I have added a blog link of the EduTap, okay, which is the very first link which is provided below. Just click on it, and when the link will open, do the Control F and write direct application link. It will redirect you to that particular part of the page where it has been written direct application link. Just click on it and you will reach out to this page, right? So we have made things easier for you. Now I think you can save your time. So now my dear friends, I'm just clicking on click here for the new registration, and when this page will appear, you can see that the registration process for the online form filling process for NABARD Grade Officer Exam 2024 is basically a 6-step process, which includes various steps like basic info, photograph and signature, details, preview, uploads and the payment. And I have to make sure that all the details I am mentioning here are correct in the nature, and wherever the asterisk has been marked here, so that means I cannot leave that particular column blank. Why? Because if I am leaving it blank, then I will not be able to successfully fill out my online application form. So here you can see in the very first step, the basic info, you have to mention your first name, your email ID and your mobile number. So basically if you are someone whose name is Rudra Pratap Singh, then your first name is Rudra, confirm the first name, middle name is Pratap, then the last name is Singh. And if you are like my name is Devanshu Kaushik, so I don't have any middle name, my first name is Devanshu and the last name is Kaushik, right? So I am just quickly adding my details here, and I have filled out all the details here. So the first name, middle name and the last name as accordingly as I have told you. Then I have to mention here my mobile number and then the email ID. My dear friends, let me tell you that another important thing that you must have while starting your online form filling process is that you must have a valid mobile number and email ID, because all the process and all the communication from the NABARD to you regarding the exam will be done through this SMS and the email only, right? So that's why make sure that all the details mentioned here are correct. So I have verified all my details. I'm clicking on save and next, and now it says that are you sure the data entered is correct, as no change or edit of the application will be allowed after complete registration. If yes, click OK, otherwise click cancel. So I have verified that yes, all the details are been clear and all the details are correct in nature. So now I am clicking on OK, and now it is taking me to the next step, and here I can see that yes, it has also generated my provisional registration number and it has provided with me the password. So my dear friends, यहाँ पर let me tell you that after this process you will also be receiving the SMS as well. On the SMS you will receive your registration number, so make sure that you are noting it down. And now the next step is basically of uploading photograph and signature. So my files are ready as per the specification mentioned in the notification. So I am just uploading my file, my photograph, and I have to make sure that yes, it is clearly visible in the adjacent box, and you are also required to make sure that your photograph in this adjacent box is clearly visible. Now I am also required to tick on this checkbox that I confirm that this is my valid photo and also agree to above mentioned note. Now the next part is uploading the signature and then once again ticking on the checkbox. So I have here uploaded my signature. I have marked it blur here. I have made it blur. But you have to make sure that yes, your signature is visible, properly visible in this adjacent box. If not, make sure you are uploading the clear image again. Okay, and now I have basically ticked on the checkbox that I confirm that this is my valid signature and also agree to my above mentioned note. So both photograph and signature are clear. I am clicking on next here. So in the next part, you can see that I am on the third step, which is the details, in which I am required to fill out various details like related to the post that I am applying for, the discipline I am applying for, then the category, the nature of the category, are you a person with a benchmark disability or not, the whether it is, do you have a permanent certificate or disability category, your type, your nature. So all the things you have to fill accordingly, right? So it will be followed by choosing out for your examination centers, then filling out your personal details like your date of birth, father's name, mother's name, your address. So I'm quickly adding my details here. So my dear friends, I am just clicking on here. I am choosing my post, that is assistant manager in grade A RDPS, right? So after choosing the post, I am required to basically select the discipline. So now, as I am applying for the general, I have clicked on the general. So now the third step is basically of choosing my category. So I am filling out my form from the SC category. So when I click on the category, this particular page will appear. So this indicates that this dialog box says, please indicate your category correctly in the online application form. No change in category will be permitted. कोई change यहाँ पर permit नहीं किया जाएगा. And there is a specific and special mention for the OBC students. So make sure कीजिए कि you are basically reading this very properly. So candidates belonging to the category but coming under the creamy layer, and if their caste does not find place in the central list caste name which is mentioned in the certificate, they should tally letter by letter with the central government list notification, and they are not entitled to the OBC reservation. They should indicate their category as unreserved in the online application form. So ऐसे candidates को यहाँ पर unreserved category के अंदर अपना form fill करना रहेगा, right? So I am clicking on OK here as I have filled all my details correctly. So now the next detail is, are you a person with a benchmark disability? So I have marked no here, and if you are someone, so my dear friend, please make sure that yes, you are clicking on yes here, and then you have to provide the below mentioned details as well, right? So now I am moving to the next part, that is, are you a person with a specified disability covered under the definition of section 2S of the RPWD Act 2016. So I have marked no here. You have to fill out your details accordingly. Now the next detail is the religion to which you belong. So here you are required to fill out this accordingly. So I have selected and marked the details accordingly, and other details as well. So do you belong to religious minority community? I have marked accordingly, that is no. Do you have a caste certificate? Yes. Are you an ex-serviceman, commissioned officer, including emergency commissioned officers? No. Then are you a child or family member of those who died in 1984 riots? No. So guys, you have to make sure that you are filling out these details and marking these details accordingly as they are implemented on you, right? Now, are you an employee of the NABARD? I am not the employee. If you are someone, then you have to mark yes, and you are also required to specify here your employee number. So I have marked no here. Now the next part is about the nationality and filling out your examination center. So basically make sure that to the location where you are very convenient to reach out. So make sure you are only choosing that particular location for your examination center, right? So now my dear friends, let's move on to the other personal details like date of birth, your gender. So all the details are required to be provided here accordingly. Then you are also required to mention about your marital status, your father's name, mother's name. Make sure all the details you are mentioning here are correct in nature and there is no discrepancy in those data, right? जो भी आपके certificates में नाम दिए गए हैं, जो भी details हैं, उसके accordingly ही आप अपनी details को यहाँ पर fill out कीजिए. अब बारी आती है एड्रेस की. सो यहाँ पर हमने एड्रेस को fill out कर लिया है. I want to keep my address for a correspondence as the permanent address. So I am clicking on here this particular same as the address for the correspondence, and you can see that yes, the details are automatically filled. So now I have to choose the state for GST invoicing is Haryana. I have chosen it, and now the amount here it is showing that I am required to pay for this particular exam, that is this particular amount. Now my dear friends, I am required to validate my details here. So it says that it is verified successfully. So basically if there is any kind of error, then it will not let you to reach out to the next stage. So you have to make sure that all the details are correct here and you have not left anything which was asterisk marked blanked in this particular form filling process, right? So now I am clicking on OK here and it is verified successfully. I am clicking on save and next. Now the next step is of education and the qualification, experience and the languages, right? So my dear friends, here basically you are required to fill out your details accordingly, like graduation, bachelor's degree. I have mentioned here that yes, I am BTech in mechanical, so I have chosen others and I have write here BTech mechanical, then the date of passing, percentage of marks, and the class and grade as well. We have to make sure we are providing it right now, right? Okay. Now if you are having the post-graduation degree, postgraduate diploma, or the professional qualification, make sure you are mentioning those details accordingly. I am not having them, so I have kept them blank here. Okay. Now the highest academic qualification, so that is what you have to choose here. So I have done graduation, so I have chosen graduation. Now the next part is basically filling out your employer details, whether you are working or not. So my dear friends, if you are working, then please mark yes here. If you are not working but you were earlier working, then you can also add the experience here accordingly, right? And if you have no experience, then you can just click on presently working, no, right? So my dear friends, you can see that here I have basically added my details accordingly. And if you are someone who has worked for more than one employer, you can add your details here. As I am only specifying my one employer, so I am removing this particular part. So now the next step is basically of, do you wish to avail the benefit of pre-recruitment training which is available for SC, ST, OBC and PWBD students? So you can mark it accordingly. And then you are required to fill out your languages, whether you are able to read, write and speak. So that is also required to be mentioned. तो मैंने यहाँ पर सारी details को fill out कर लिया है, that I don't require any kind of pre-recruitment training. And the languages known are English and Hindi, as I can read, write and speak both the languages. So I have tick the required checkboxes accordingly. Now I am validating my details here and it says verified successfully. So my dear friends, now I am clicking on OK. And now it is taking me to the next step, that is a preview of my form. So here I have to basically make sure that all the details that I have mentioned in my online form filling process till now, they are being mentioned correctly here. So on the right side you will see that I have already marked here, so that you, and I believe you guys are really going to respect my privacy here, right? So that is why I have marked all my details blur. ओके तो आपको यहाँ पर आइडेंटिफाई करना है, आपको यहाँ पर मेक श्योर करना है कि आपकी सारी डिटेल्स यहाँ पर क्लियरली मेंशन्ड है. And here you can see that the payment status is unpaid. But let me tell you that when I will be done with my process, then this payment status will show me paid here, right? But right now I have not paid the fee, so it is showing unpaid. I have verified all my details, they are absolutely correct here. So but in case you are someone जिसकी कोई डिटेल यहाँ पर सही नहीं है, if you have due to mistake mentioned your any kind of detail incorrectly, so what you can do, you can just click on back here and it will take you to the previous stage. So as I have mentioned and I have verified all my details are correct, I am clicking on save and next. So again moving to this particular page, and now my dear friends, there is a declaration as well from where I am required to tick the checkbox which states, I hereby declare that all the statements made in this application are true, complete and correct. I understand that in the event of any information being found untrue or incorrect at any stage, or I am not satisfying any of the eligibility criteria, and in case of creating influence or undue pressure regarding the recruitment, then it shall tantamount to the cancellation of my candidature, right? So I have basically ticked the checkbox here, and now my all the process is being complete and I'm clicking on complete registration. Now it is asking me again, on completion of the registration, no changes of details already entered will be permitted, and after the completion of the registration, proceed for document upload and the payment process. So I am marking OK here because I have made sure that yes, all the details are correct. Are you sure to continue? Yes, I am sure to continue, and I have clicked on OK. Now it is taking me to the next step of uploading the other documents, that is the left thumb impression and the handwritten declaration. So all my files are ready. So now I am choosing my file here. So here I have uploaded my left thumb impression. I have smudged it. Why so? Basically I have marked it blur here, and but you have to make sure that yes, your left thumb impression image is very clear and clearly visible here. So you have to ensure that, and if yes, you have ensured it. So I have seen that my left thumb impression is basically clear to me here. So I am clicking on OK. So now the next part is basically of uploading the handwritten declaration. Once again, you can see that this is what I have written here. So यहाँ पर basically you will be writing your name, and I have seen that yes, everything is clear. So I am clicking on OK here. So the next step is just filling out the security code. I am filling out it quickly. So I have filled out my security code here as well, and now I have to the security code which is mentioned in this image, right? Now I have to click on save and next. Now it says, are you sure the data entered is correct, as no change or edit of application will be allowed after the final submit. तो final submit के बाद मैं अपना left thumb impression और hand written declaration कुछ भी change नहीं कर सकता हूँ. So I have made sure that yes, everything is correct. I am clicking on OK. तो यहाँ आप देख सकते हैं कि now it is taking me to the final step of the online form filling process, that is the payment step, and the security code I have to fill it out here and then I have to submit it. So I have basically filled out my security code which is mentioned in the image, and now I'm clicking on submit. Now it says, do you want to proceed for the payment? Yes, I want to proceed, so I'm clicking on OK. So you can see here guys that yes, there are various modes of payment that you can use in order to pay your fees. That includes credit card, debit card, internet banking, wallet, cash cards, QR or the UPI. So I am using the credit card, so I have marked my details here and I am clicking on make payment. Now it is showing me the final amount. I am proceeding with the payment, and in this page make sure that you are not, basically you have to make sure that you are not clicking or refreshing this particular page or clicking on the back button, because it will lead to the problem in your payment process. Right now I have to just enter my OTP. I have entered it and now I have to submit it. Now it shows that yes, dear candidate, thank you for your payment, please refer details of this transaction. Make sure guys, आप सभी को भी ये करना है that you have to keep this particular page as a proof that yes, you have paid your amount, right? So you have to print it and make sure आप इसके पास अपने पास इसका एक PDF अपने पास रखिए, क्योंकि in case अगर आप वापस से registration page पर जाते हैं and it shows that your payment status is unpaid, then you can definitely provide this particular page as a proof, right? So I have basically take the screenshot of it, and now once again I am going back to the registration page. Now my dear friends, as I've already registered myself and I've also received the email as well as SMS on my phone that yes, I have got myself registered successfully for the exam. Now I have to see whether everything is fine or not. So basically now I am required to enter my details here, the registration number, password and the security code. So I have mentioned my details and I'm clicking on submit, and here you can see that yes, my application form has been successfully submitted, and here are the details which are been mentioned here. From this page I can also print the application form that I have filled, and you can see all the details. And I told you that in the payment status, after filling out your form successfully, it will show paid here. तो अगर आपका भी यहाँ पर paid status है, that means आप अपना form successfully fill कर चुके हैं, right? So all the other details I have already seen that yes, all of them are correct. So my dear friends, with this basically we have understood that okay, how we are required to fill out our online application form for the NABARD Grade A officer exam. So I believe अब आपका कोई भी doubt नहीं है, and in case you are having any doubt, make sure that you are posting your doubts in your comment section, right? So जैसे कि मैंने अपना form successfully fill out किया है, आप भी कीजिए, and just fulfilling the first step of becoming the NABARD Grade A officer exam. So I would like to wish you all the best for your exam.